All right, let's now take the discussion further. We are now joined by legal expert Geraldean Dawes. Geraldine, thank you so much for your time. So, of course, our conversation comes at the back of that violent video we saw yesterday in a primary school, no less. You know, before we get to the custody-related matters, let's talk about the kind of charges that these suspects are likely now to be facing. We do know, of course, that 4 people have been arrested. A 5th one has not been confirmed as yet. But, I mean, what charges are they looking at? They are going to be appearing in court soon on Wednesday, I do believe. Geraldine, can you please unmute? Thanks.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Sorry about that. Yes, there are an array of charges that have been leveled against the 4 and now 5 accused, which range from intimidation to recklessly handling a firearm. I believe that the firearm that one of the gentlemen was handling was declared to be a replica, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he was brandishing what looked like a rifle. There's also malicious damage or injury to property and the rendering of security services without proper registration. The SAPS are currently conducting further investigations and obtaining the necessary statements. I suspect that the videos will also be used as evidence in the charges leveled against the accused persons. And there are likewise further to come is additional charges.
Are they likely then, I mean, just given the violence, that we saw them displaying at that school with those machetes particularly, and the aggressive nature, and also the children who were clearly distressed. And then, of course, there's that safety elements at the school itself. Are they likely then, in the event that they are given bail after they've been charged and after they've appeared, to be banned from attending or being near any school for that matter?
Of course. The level of violence showed against not only the teachers and staff, but the members of the community, and most importantly, the minor children, is very concerning. I have no doubt that they would be prohibited from going near any school, especially a primary school. It's very alarming.
And one of the things, before we move on, is the fact that, we saw some of these suspects and we saw them carrying these weapons, but not all of them were arrested at the same time. Why would, in an incident like that, police, for instance, not immediately arrest those that are involved, especially because we're hearing that, the school teachers and principal themselves went to the police station to say, these are the people that came to the school, this is what they have done. The videos then, of course, just tell a completely different story, a similar story in terms of corroborating with what they are saying. Why then would the police, in any incident, for instance, not immediately arrest the suspects when they can clearly see them, provocating, threatening, and being violent?
So it's likely that the SAPS are conducting further investigations on who the perpetrators are. I know that there are 4 arrests, and you mentioned a 5th arrest. We don't know the identity of those persons just yet. That will only come once they've actually appeared before a court of law. But it's likely the SAPS are conducting further investigations before effecting any further arrests, which I'm sure are certainly to come.
And I want to move to, of course, a matter that apparently started this all. I mean, the incident is believed to be related to a conflict between 2 families over the custody of the learners that are enrolled at that school. Of course, this is a primary school. We don't know the merits of the custody-related battle. But let's talk generally about custody laws in this country and how contentious they can be, I mean, to lead us in a situation in terms of where we are now.
So yes, custody battles are known to get quite acrimonious and litigious and violent, as we've seen in the videos that have been circulated on social media. So I believe that the grandmother, as far as we know, is actually the legal guardian. The minor children's birth mother or biological mother passed away in April and the maternal grandmother has custody of the minor children. Ultimately, that will need to be proved. I'm not sure if there was a guardianship application that was launched that named her the guardian of these minor children. I suspect that will all come out relatively soon. But in order to be a guardian of the minor children, you either need to be the biological mother or father. Alternatively, you seek a court order that gives you the right to guardianship over the minor children, which she might likely have, but I suspect that will play out in the days and weeks to come.
And we are hearing varying, reports in terms of where the children are now. Some saying that they are with the paternal grandmother. Of course, we saw that the family that was at the school that are the alleged perpetrators are the ones that are from the paternal side. So in a situation like that, where it is found that the maternal grandmother, in fact, does have sole custody of the children, and now the children are taken to the paternal grandmother. Legally, what rights do they then have, to make sure that the children are brought back to where they legally should be?
So an urgent application can be launched by the maternal grandmother to have the minor children placed back into her care. Ultimately, we cannot lose sight of the fact that we need to look at what is in the best interest of the minor children. And having seen the video circulated where the pastor has the two minor children with him, you can see they are evidently traumatized.
Yeah.
But the civil remedies are for the maternal grandmother to launch an urgent application for the urgent return of the minor children into her care. She can also approach the SAPS and lay charges of kidnapping, because she's ultimately being deprived of the minor children, and their rights to freedom are also being limited.
To what extent then does the action of the paternal grandfather have on his son's case? I mean, now he is saying that the reason that he went to the school is because they are denying his son from seeing his children. I mean, to what extent would that weigh negatively to his ongoing, I would imagine, paternity case?
That's going to have a very adverse impact on his son's case. I mean, not only do you have the paternal grandfather who's getting involved in a matter that's between his son and the maternal grandmother, but now he's illustrating very controlling and violent conduct, as can be seen from the videos, which you would never want minor children to be subjected to. And the trauma that they've been subjected to just yesterday is shocking. It can never be in the best interest of the minor children to be subjected to any conduct like that.
I suppose, I mean, it can never be in the best interest of the child, and of course, it can never be justified. But Geraldine, that's where we have to leave it for now. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Legal expert Geraldean Dawes there, as we continue, of course, to give you updates on this particular story that we are tracking for you.